Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
My stream is trying to reconnect.
Yes. Yes.
We almost there. We almost live. Possibly. Receiving
Possibly.
your content. Your audience will see it in a moment. You are live, apparently. The trials and tribulations of YouTube.
Of those things. Well, there's that. General.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, just saying. It says featuring General Lotus of S.
Yeah.
You know what? You might as well just change it to Lotus Sanitcrow at that.
I'll fix it, yeah.
Yeah, you might as well just fix it after the stream. It'd probably be easier.
And it started a new stream. God dang it.
Ah, no. Well, you're probably going to have to cut these two together. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to
well, that's more editing.
Both, edit them both together. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Oh, well.
You might as well just put a transition in between the two. So.
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I love your transitions.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they are. I actually want to know if did you make those yourself or are those available to download? Because once I get Bandicam, I want to use that.
Yeah. So what I used was a template, and I actually used it in what was it? I used it in Blender. I edited it all in Blender to get the
cool.
The text
That's
like
very
that.
Cool.
And then the music is actually something I did a number of years ago in GarageBand of all things. So the music is something I've made. The logo is based off of a template that I found actually on YouTube itself for like the free logos and templates and everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So, but no, I used Blender to edit that, and then the music is, something I did. So the music is something I've made. The logo is.
Sorry, I'm just checking to see the time dilation between the stream and this.
It's probably something like 10 or 20 seconds.
20
I
seconds.
can't remember. So, but no, I used Blender to music is something I so. Excuse me.
Yep. Okay, I had it at full blast, so it's showing up in the stream. We're such amateurs, General. We really are.
Oh man, are you kidding me? I'm still figuring all this out.
Yeah, same here, man. You're not the only one. Man, you have more subscribers than I am, dude. Seriously, yeah, I do, man. Seriously. we're both trying
You gotta
to
watch
figure
this
it
shot
out.
in a moment. I'll probably come up in 10 seconds. I'm getting this deer down here. It's pretty epic.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see this. You're essentially doing a Green Arrow build, essentially. So.
More or less, yeah, but just with more humor and.
Oh, you got it! Ooh.
I did.
Ooh, it was running away too.
That is not an easy shot.
Look at that shot! Ooh, right. Oh, that's gonna be good eating. It's gonna be good eating. Oh, you know what's cool about Hunterborn is that you can actually get animal fat.
Oh yeah,
and if you have Frostfall installed,
God,
you can actually get animal fat. And if you have Frostfall installed, like cooked animal fat will actually help insulate you for a time.
That's so pretty
cool. So you'll lose like you'll still lose exposure, but you'll lose it at a lesser rate. It's kind of like the same as Did I just see that deer just flying to the sky and
the mammoth? Yeah, I just saw it back on the stream there.
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah.
That's what I went, kind of.
You know what? Okay, let me tell you about one of my favorite Skyrim glitch stories. I heard it from Zero Punctuation. Shout out to Yahtzee. He essentially was talking about Skyrim. He was talking about the glitches, and he was like my favorite glitch was I was walking along a path and I saw an old lady hovering spinning 20 feet in the air before she walked diagonally down into the ground and disappeared forever. I never knew what her name was, but I will always remember you, hovering ground lady. You gotta love Sky, dude. Bethesda games are awesome, not because like they're the most well-made games or anything. Like the story, like as you know, it's like, don't get me wrong, like Skyrim is amazing. Like the stories are awesome and everything. Like just the game world itself. But the best part of any Bethesda game, let's be honest, are glitches. because
the
because there
are
are
great.
things. Yeah, like
really
you'll find that occasional glitch that will break the game, and that's the best part.
like what I did with blacksmithing.
Exactly, what you did with the blacksmithing. Yeah, it's great. It looks like my well, it looks like I'm taking a look at the messages. Okay, we're going to Wallingford to drop something off to my mom, then pick up Ash and come see. Oh, cool! They're picking up my friend Ashton. Awesome.
Cool.
Ashton is actually I'm more of a mentor to her since she's in high school, but she's pretty cool. Like I actually got her into Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Nice.
So she plays. I actually bought her a copy of it. Copies of those games. That's the only game she plays now, according to my friend Richard.
Well, they're amazing games. They're really well done.
They're amazing games. Like it's kind of you know what I like about Shadow of War? That no matter how powered up you get, it's easy to take out a bunch of grunts with just a whole bunch of Wraith executions and crap, and then it's kind of like the same thing as Pokemon is having boss fights jump out of the freaking hedges, you know? That you are totally unprepared for. Because that's what I love about the Nemesis system. It's essentially like a hardcore Pokemon. You'll just have boss fights appear. And even spray you. Like I actually had 4 betrayals at once.
Huh.
Like I built up, like I was actually planning on bringing all 4 of those guys on a conquest, the conquest of the region. They all betrayed me, like at the same time. I was extremely angry.
There was one playthrough I was doing of Shadow of War, and I'm still working on it. But it was where I was going to fight this one dude and try to get him to my side, and he just doesn't like the feel of pain, basically. That's one of his weaknesses.
Yes.
But in retrospect to that, apparently when I brought in my followers to help me out with this guy, because, you know, he had a bunch of different strengths, and I still wanted him on my side.
He got enraged at the sight of one of his rivals, which is one of your followers.
No. What happened was that everybody began betraying me. Like 6 of my followers began betraying me because they claimed that this guy was their blood brother.
The blood brother mechanic is great.
It's really great, but in certain circumstances,
but it can seriously screw you over.
Oh, really so much. So not only did I have to fight this guy.
That's kind of why before I dominate anyone, I usually just go around, collect intel of the entire region, and I try to avoid combat and stuff before I do that. So that way I know whose blood brother is who and things like that. And I actually had a blood brother rescue team. And that's what I had. Like I had a bodyguard who was an archer, and he had a Olog who was his blood brother. So I was in a fight where I was losing badly, and my bodyguard actually comes in, does a headshot on the dude that's about to kill me. I go down again, and the Olog comes by, grabs the grunt that's about to kill me and rips him in half essentially, and he essentially is like, "Get up, master, we still got fighting to do." I was like, I love you guys.
I've had a few experiences like that where I completely expected to die, and then all of a sudden they come in and go and just save my butt, which is just like, these guys are awesome. I didn't even like call you guys in, and just out of nowhere.
You just come in. It's great. It's great when you have that. It's really great. It's a great feeling all around. It really is.
And it makes you. There's a certain sense of like you really have an army behind you in this one, versus the versus Shadow of Mordor, which of course that was the first one they were experimenting with.
Yeah, so they were still experimenting with things.
And
it feels like with Shadow of War, they've definitely gotten the formula down. I actually wouldn't mind if they actually made a third game. I would, because the way I look at Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, like the Shadow of games, I look at, because I got a lot of people, because my dad's a lore purist for Lord of the Rings and stuff, and he essentially hates the fact that a new ring has been made and stuff like that. He's like, it breaks the canon, that kind of thing. The way I look at a lot of these games, like with the whole Mass Effect Andromeda controversy, I think people were just looking at it the wrong way. They had the wrong mindset going into it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't look at it. You can't look at a game like Mass Effect Andromeda, which is essentially going off the beaten path and exploring new territories and stuff. And I think people looked at it like thinking it was going to be another Mass Effect game. I essentially went into that game not expecting anything. You know, just expecting a new IP within the IP, and I enjoyed that game immensely for what it was, which was essentially a new take on the IP. So,
absolutely.
And I think a lot of people didn't understand that, and that's why they hated it so much, because they were used to that. They were used to like a lot of cover-based shooting and stuff, and that's not what this game was mainly about. Essentially, a lot of people didn't like the fact that, oh, you have to scan everything. Well, yeah, you're in a new galaxy. You gotta learn, you know? You gotta learn about stuff. So, it's essentially a game of discovery of yourself, discovery of your allies, discovery of the history of this galaxy and everything like that. Discovery. And that's what I loved about it. The exploration, this everything about it was great. I loved it, and I absolutely. Ooh, wow!
Yeah,
I just saw that happen.
Mistakes happened.
Yeah, mistakes were made. Yeah, you took on a Wisp Mother at what, level 18? Yeah. Not the smartest idea.
No,
you had.
I was thinking, oh, I could kill the Wisps easily.
Yeah. No. Here's the thing about Wisps: they always have a Wisp Mother nearby.
Yeah. And for a moment, because it's been a while since I encountered a Wisp and a Wisp Mother, and so I was like, these look familiar. I'm not sure what these are. And all of a sudden, crap, it's a Wisp Mother.
Boom! There you go, Wisp Mother. And you know what's cool about Wet and Cold? The cool thing about Wet and Cold, the mod, is that if you're soaking wet, if you get hit with fire, if you're soaking wet, like if you're drenched, it'll actually dry you off first before you actually start taking fire damage.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, so if you're gonna be fighting against a fire mage, you might want to dunk into some water first before you do. And it's so cool too, because I saw this happen. It's essentially you see steam rise off you as you're getting hit by the flames, where you're being like fire dried essentially. It's so cool. Like the amount of detail that people that the mod community put into mods is just great, you know? Hello? General?
Yeah,
there you are. Yeah. Yeah, also the cool thing about if you're gonna be doing the Companions quest line, like if you're gonna try to do it again, I would highly suggest what you do is get a mod that pretty much, because it's kind of cool, because if you're a heavy armor user, this would actually be, and you want to do the Companions quest line. Like, I've always felt that the Skyforged steel swords, like Skyforged steel weapons and the wolf armor, they're made in the Skyforged, so they should be of a much better quality, you know? So what's cool about, I have a mod, it's not the most perfect mod, but it does what it's supposed to do. It essentially raises the armor stats of wolf armor to essentially the same armor stats as ebony armor.
Ooh.
And then the Skyforged steel weapons essentially have the same like damage output as Daedric weapon, that fit along with the legendary secondary lore of the Skyforge. You know.
I like it. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense, because I always felt that like the armor and weapons that have come out of the Skyforge, given that it's
we're
quote
a bit
unquote
lacking.
the greatest
Yeah,
forge in
lacking.
Skyrim or whatnot,
we're lacking. Like... Yeah. So I think there's a bunch of mods on the Nexus that fix that.
I would imagine.
Yes, and the cool thing about Old Kingdom weapon overhaul, it actually gives the actual weapons actually gives the weapons. Not only does it de-LARP them, which makes them much more practical, like you would actually see a sword like this in real life or something like that, you know? Because I've always felt that the weapons were way too like LARPified. They were way too fantasy based.
Absolutely.
As somebody who has actually done like combat training with a sword and a shield and stuff like that, I've actually, you know, I kind of like having the more realistic weapons in my games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I could actually see myself using this kind of weapon. You know, not only does Old Kingdom weapon overhaul do that, it also actually makes the Skyforge steel weapons look different to normal steel weapons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it actually gives this it actually makes the steel a bit darker. The Skyforge steel actually have little runes carved into the blades and stuff, and the axe handle and the axe heads and stuff. Like if you look really closely at it, and it actually gives darker wrappings for like the handles and things like that. So it's really cool. Like it's really cool using and the cool thing about armor, the Old Kingdom armor overhaul, it actually makes the wolf armor look fantastic, like
nice.
4K quality, It's so good. Like I don't know if you have cheat room or not, but definitely when you download the Old Kingdom weapon and armor mods, definitely get the cheat room extension so you can just take a look at the amount of work they went into them. Like definitely. Don't take the actual weapons and armor out of it, but you know, just take a look at what you could find in the world. You know, like what you could get, what you could earn, like because it's just like it like trust me, it will make you want to play the game that much more. You know, it's like because I can't even imagine a time. I used to play Skyrim vanilla, and I hated a lot of the things about it. I now have mods, and I've perfected my game. Like, I perfected my game. And I absolutely enjoyed the hell out of it now. Mm-hmm. Like, I can't put it down. It's great.
Clay Dittman,
you got boss trolls on your butt, boy. Ooh,
yeah,
boy.
This is not to...
You need some fire on those things. Yeah. Because remember, trolls...
Clay Dittman, this is not to session 3. This is... Well, I mean, this is still session 3. I need to actually stitch the videos together.
It's session 3.5.
Yes. I need to stitch the videos together because my stream decided...
definitely do that. Yes.
Yeah, my stream decided, oh, hey, let's stop.
Let's restart. Let's restart the entire stream from the ground up. Yeah.
Basically. So it's...
might as
basically
well just join.
3.5. It's
you might as well just... You might as well... What you should do is essentially you should just release... What you should do is just release the sessions as episodes if that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I'd
like,
rather
so
it not happen,
like
but yeah.
If it happens, you might as well just do that. So you know, so you'll have the independent streams of themselves, and then you'll have the episodes where you clip them together. So you know, that's what I would do. Is essential, and it adds more content to the channel. So there you go.
Absolutely.
So, I think my friends should be on their way. I figure that as soon as they text me, I guess I'll start heading out.
All right.
So just letting you know. They haven't texted me yet, guys. They haven't texted me yet. Stop blowing up the chat. Okay. I'm kidding. They're not blowing. People don't care about me. They care about you. Sorry. They're not. Nobody's blowing up the chat.
No,
it's
not
just
yet.
Wishful thinking. It's just wishful thinking.
Well, it's like with yesterday, you know, I was streaming and you know, there was like one person or two people on, and I made the remark of, God, I mean, I am streaming at the same time that XP Gamers is streaming right now. So
yeah, no, that's the reason why. Yeah.
Right. You know, that's gotta be the
XP
reason.
Gamer
I
has
can't compete with them.
way more subscribers than either one of us. So, like, and if Markiplier streams and it's game over, you might as well not stream at that point.
It's like, who can compete with that guy, honestly?
Markiplier. But you know what's cool about Markiplier? He actually wants to reach out to smaller channels to help him.
Yeah,
grow.
which is
That's
really
the cool thing about
actually.
Markiplier. That's the cool thing about Markiplier. So he'll do like Gmod with like small time YouTubers and things like that, which feels nice that he's actually giving back to the community he helped build.
Absolutely.
You know, that's what makes him such a great That's why I love Markiplier more than I love PewDiePie. Don't get me wrong, PewDiePie is hysterical. But I feel like as time has gone on, he's become a little bit too conceited with me.
I think so. I
a
mean, like,
little bit too.
Once you achieve 50 million subs or so, like,
yeah, I feel like you're allowed to be a little bit conceited. But let's be honest, that whole Nazi joke he did, yeah,
that was ridiculous. Basically,
that was ridiculous. Let's be honest. I understood. The thing about it was that I understood what he was getting at. And I feel like a lot of people did not understand what he was getting at. They didn't look anywhere past the SS uniform. I understood the joke he was getting at. I feel like it was still in bad taste, but I understand what he was getting at.
Yes.
So that's why so many YouTubers came to his defense, because they was like, we understand what he was getting at. We don't agree with it, but we understand what he was getting at. And he should not be getting as much hate as he is now.
Right. I think at this point it's taken out of context more than when he said it. Yeah, like, it was still bad. Yes. But
it was still absolutely terrible, like absolutely terrible. But
I think at this point,
and that's a prime example of what happens when you do anything for views. Sometimes you lose more viewers.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So you don't want to change yourself up too much to fit to what you think people want to see. Because there's a good chance that you'll offend a lot more people and you'll lose a lot more viewers than you would gain views. So,
right.
You know, it's like, so that's why I like smaller time YouTubers like yourself. You know, like, because you essentially have this, and this. And this is what I do. And this is not what we're not going to talk about politics or religion. We're not going to bring up any political jokes, nothing like that. Right. This is just straight across the board, games, Star Wars, cosplay, whatever. If you want it, there are channels for that. I don't want to see it. That's why I kind of like that. That's why I liked, you know, when you released that video, I think last year, of you pretty much saying, look, if you're going to bring up these topics on my videos, I will block you. I will ban you from my streams. I will report you to YouTube. I don't want that anywhere on my. I don't want those kinds of comments. I don't want these kinds of discussions on my stream. I don't want them on my channel. I don't want them in my comment section.
Absolutely.
Please respect that.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
There's certain cases.
Actually, you know what's funny about that, General? You know what's funny about that, Spear? I actually started watching you more after you posted that video. I started watching you a lot more, like a lot more. Like you're actually one of the few channels I actually have notifications on for constantly.
I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah.
And there's times in which that does get away. Like, for example, like I think it was yesterday,
good night,
2 days ago,
good night, Kiva.
in which the FCC whole thing, you know, debacle going on with the net neutrality and everything. I mean, that's just a conversation that just happened.
Yes.
Because
it is. I mean, because it's important. It's not only because I feel like that's one of the few topics that would actually be relevant to your channel.
Absolutely, because it
affects everyone. It absolutely affects everyone. And the cool thing about it is that, did you know that most of Congress is actually not only going to destroy this vote, which they're already looking to do anyway, you know, which is nice to see. It's nice to see Democrats and Republicans actually finally agreeing on something.
I know.
But it also looks like our national attorney general is going to sue the FCC for, like, obstruction of justice and pure corruption.
Right. Because one of the things that a lot of people don't, like, maybe not. It's not that they don't realize, but maybe forget is that the internet is used more than just for browsing. Like it's used
so
for
many
medical
more things. Yeah.
Stuff. It's used for research. It's used for a host of different things. It's used for voting.
It's used for voting. It's used for all this stuff. And if internet companies got a hold of the internet, got a stranglehold, like they could essentially do what's known as corporate fascism, and we've seen it happen before.
And also it would affect not only the policies that we would put in place here with that, but also across the world.
Yeah,
it would have this ripple effect.
If it happens here, who says they won't do it in Britain? Who says they won't do it in Canada? Who says they won't do it anywhere? You know,
exactly.
I mean, we've already seen what happens to an internet that's censored. All you have to do is take a look at North Korea, and just and Russia and China, and see what happens when the internet is censored.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah, it's like, and I'm glad to see that Congress has actually woken up and seen that, you know? Like, the majority of Congress has already, I think the vote is a foregone conclusion. They're not going to let this pass. They're actually going to make the FCC reinstate net neutrality, or Ajit Pai could be facing criminal charges.
Right.
So...
I hope so.
I would actually love to see him try to ask Verizon to hire him back once he has a criminal record. I'm pretty sure they won't. You know, like Verizon doesn't care about Ajit Pai. They just care about fattening their wallets. That's all they care about. You know,
Yep.
It's like, you know, that's one of the things. That's one of the few topics that you can talk about on this channel, because it's political, but it affects everyone.
Everybody.
From the big time YouTubers like PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, down to us. It affects everyone, you know? And it's a big thing. And I'm glad to see that I've seen like SJW and anti-SJWs actually join together and protest this kind of thing, you know? Like, it's nice to see like Chris Raygun, who's a big anti, and Steven Shives, who's like a big SJW, actually agree on this, that this cannot pass. It's nice to see those camps actually agreeing on something, you know? Because I have friends who are both antis and they're SJWs, and it makes for very awkward for dinners sometimes. I will tell that much.
I can bet.
Yeah. So, but it's nice to see that my anti-friends and my SJW friends, they actually agree with each other that net neutrality should be a thing. Yep. And I'm glad to see that Congress is taking the right steps. And I'm glad to see the Attorney General is essentially going to charge the FCC with treason, in a way. You know?
Pretty much.
Nice, because that's essentially what he's doing. That's essentially what he's going to do. And the lawsuit could lead to treason charges. Because essentially, because we're essentially having corporations trying to reach their hands further into America, and it's nice to see that we're actually drawing a line at this point. You know, it's nice to see that Congress is not only going to vote against repealing net neutrality, because now it's in the House and the Senate, and it looks like it's going to happen that way, regardless. And you know, it's nice to see the Attorney General taking this for what I've said it has been. It is essentially high treason, because it violates our freedom of speech, in a way. So, you know, I don't know what side you're on. What political party you are, or general. But I do know that it's nice to know that you support net neutrality. Yes. Like 100%. Because you already have enough internet problems as it is. You don't need paywalls. You absolutely do not need paywalls, especially since you work retail, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both my wife and I right now work retail, and if the internet were to go with that, because technically the way that the cash registers work and everything is that they use a variant of the internet, but it's connected to the work servers that are there.
Right.
And it's rather interesting to have customers come up and go, "Oh, can you just look this up for me?" And I go, "Well, we can't really do that because we're not connected to that portion of the internet, but we're still connected to the portion of the internet where we need to, like, you know, update our
transfer to
logs
banks and things like that." Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And if that were to
yeah.
go, if those servers were to be such
get
that,
a paywall, yeah,
exactly,
it would affect small businesses. It would affect everyone.
It affects everybody.
You know? It's just like it's. I think personally, like, I'm glad that, you know, it's kind of funny. I was watching the Humanist Report, and it essentially said that Ajit Pai is going to decline to comment about the whole Attorney General trying to charge him and the other FCC chairman who voted to repeal net neutrality with treason. He said I declined to comment, and I'm like, I bet you do.
Everybody's laughing at that, going, yeah, we bet you decline it at this point. Yeah.
So why don't you ask Verizon? Why don't you ask your corporate masters to bail you out of this one? Oh wait, they won't if you're charged with treason.
The thing that it makes me laugh a lot, or not laugh, ha ha, but kind of just going, is the fact that, you know, you got this large majority in the American populace saying that, like, for net neutrality, for example, saying don't get rid of it because it will do bad things, and it will. And then you have these guys and girls that in this small committee that's making this decision.
It's nice to see that the two Democrat women actually saw sense.
Yeah.
But it didn't do much, you know.
Yeah.
They even said, look, it's kind of funny. They even said to the Attorney General, look, we're cooperating. We know what they've been doing behind your backs. We know what they've been doing.
Right.
You know, like,
but
like,
it's one of those things where, like, a very small portion is making this decision for everybody else in America when they know that the majority
don't want it.
Right.
Yeah, that's not how democracy works.
Right.
You listen to what the people say.
Exactly.
Okay? You don't listen to your corporate masters, you listen to the people.
Exactly.
Because they're the ones who make sure you have jobs. Because here's the thing, and this is something that I feel like the GOP need to understand. We have the legal rights to essentially storm into DC, pretty much throw everybody out of Congress and out of the White House, and just rebuild. We have that power given to us. We choose not to because it would result in a lot of people dying, but we have that power, and we have that ability given to us in the Constitution that we can legit just waltz into Washington, D.C., and go into Congress, go into the White House, and essentially say, all right, get out. What? Get out. We don't want you here anymore. We can essentially do that. That's something a lot of people have forgotten. We can legally do that. You know?
Right.
We can legally walk into Congress, all of us, and just be like, okay, you're out. What? You're out. Get out. You've lost your jobs. You've lost your jobs. We can, like, essentially this democracy, as much as they don't want to admit, this is a people's democracy, and we have the final say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, we absolutely can walk, and at any point we can all march into Washington and pretty much tell Trump, get out. We can tell Paul Ryan, get out. We can tell Mitch McConnell, get out. And they will have to. Because if they don't, we can legally kill them. That's what it says in the Constitution. Yeah. They're gonna pick me up pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they had to pick somebody up, so before me. Yep.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that was my mom, everyone. Probably should have muted myself for that. That was again, we're not professional. No, we're not professional.
Who has the time to be a professional? You know?
Professional, yes. I mean, after all, I swear up the storm in Skyrim. I'm probably demonetized already.
Good stuff. All right. I've leveled up again.
Lefty Junior Gaming. The General Spears talking to me, Lotus Sanitcrow, one of his moderators, and also a fellow YouTuber.
Mm-hmm. And I'll of course make sure on my end, just so that everybody knows, to make sure that when I do redo that stitched edit of session 3, which will probably be episode 3, I'll make sure to put that in the
yes, definitely.
The title.
Definitely.
Of course, I'll have your info in the description and everything.
Thank you. Because I actually, it's funny. I actually put if you check, I think episode 4 of Drunken Dragonborn, I put all your links in the description box.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I put all your links
because I mentioned you. Because I mentioned you essentially. So I was just you might as well go. And of course, General, you're welcome on our streams at any time.
Absolutely.
We're probably doing a podcast, so you're welcome on there anytime.
Sweet.
And hello, Lefty. How you doing? Yeah, you also read that message I sent you a couple weeks back about me trying to do like a group of small-time YouTubers similar to what the creatures have done.
Yeah, I saw that. That is something that intrigues me a lot about that. So
you like what I called it, the YouTube provisional government?
Yes, I did. That was interesting. Let's definitely talk further on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm thinking of it. Have you heard of Evil Viking 13?
Not off the top of my head, no.
He does like insane Fallout 4 builds. Should definitely look him up. Like he rebuilt like a lot of the settlement mods on he actually rebuilt the Minutemen castle.
Oh.
And that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
He did the Grand Castle Capital mod for the Minutemen for he actually did the Wasteland Walls, he did the Bedford battle train, all those things. He did the Minutemen propaganda, which is awesome. Propaganda mod pack, it's great. He does a lot of great stuff. It's kind of funny because he's married too, and he has a full-time job too, and yet he still has time to create these ridiculous settlements.
I don't know how he does it. I
don't know how he does it, dude. He built a hidden vault, in 10 Pines Bluff.
And that's a tough feat to do there.
Yeah, he essentially built a fake mountain in ranger cabin and everything, and actually built a custom vault inside of the fake mountain to fit with his lore. To fit with he's that much of it's insanity, and I want him in the YouTube provisional government. I want him in there. Seriously.
Oh man, yeah, because I now that I think about it now, I think I may have seen some of his builds, just trying to remember the name and everything. But the guy is insane, and like you said, how he has time to do those builds is absolutely beyond me. The biggest build that I've ever done in any game has to be the Jedi Temple in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, I actually saw that. That was awesome.
And that took me, what was it, 3 weeks of just planning out where blocks were going to go,
no,
and
seriously,
I still had modifications?
It was just if you've taken a look at his Minutemen castle, his latest build? His latest build was rebuilding Fortress Sanctuary into Sanctuary Hills.
Oh,
the entire tour lasted 4 episodes.
Man,
he used the creation kit for 60% of it.
And you almost have to with that big of a build.
Dude, he built cells he built separate cells inside of separate bunkers and everything. Where he put a medical station, he put a hospital. It's just oh my god. I couldn't even wrap my mind around it. You know what I mean? I'm looking at he essentially does a simulated attack. Nobody even made it to the gate. Nobody made it to the gates of Sanctuary Hills. Nobody.
Wow.
He had behemoths. He took out a behemoth, the amount of turrets and snipers he had and everything. He took out Like, they didn't even, they made it halfway across the bridge, and then they just fell down. That's how powerful his defenses are. He is insane.
I can imagine. Like, that's just amazing right there.
I could not wrap my mind around. And it's kind of funny, because he made his best friend, Joel, he brought him into the lore of his Fallout playthrough. And his best friend Joel was actually kind of like he's kind of like this. Apparently he woke, like, General Dave. You know how Fallout 4 is, he escapes Vault 111 cryogenic. Well, apparently Joel escaped Vault 111 like a few years before him and started bringing the Raiders under his heel and everything. And so when General Dave found him, instead of killing him, they made a deal where Joel became the leader of his secret police and stuff like that. He actually built a custom settlement just for Joel's character.
Wow.
Where he built a settlement on top of a settlement, okay? In order to fit the lore. He turned Spectacle Island into a pre-war resort, a pre-war vacation resort, and then built a raider town on top of it.
That's insanity.
In order to fit his lore. I'm like, you are insane.
That is going beyond and above the Call of Duty right there for a role playing segment. That's
no, it's insane. It's literally insane. Wow. I can't even do that. I can't do that. In my Fallout 4 builds and my Fallout 4 settlement, the only thing that I've ever really built piece by piece is in my latest playthrough, and I kind of built a house in Sanctuary Hills for my character. I built a house. So, I basically built I made sure I put furniture and stuff in there, materials and things that it looks like he would actually have been able to scavenge.
Right.
To add to my realism,
things that make sense with what he might be able to, find or pick up, basically. Yeah.
And that's the great thing about General Dave is that he actually does those things. He actually does that. He'll actually, the furniture and everything he does, it looks not out of place. When he explains the lore behind it, behind how he's able to build these things and stuff like that, it fits. And that's the scary thing, that it fits.
Right. Well, that's one of the things I added for Skyrim here. One of the other mods that I found, which I thought would be really intriguing, was it was one of the jobs mod, or one of the professions, basically.
Jobs of Skyrim?
Yeah. So, because I want to do something
I was actually taking a look at that. I don't know if I wanted to do that or not for Ragnar. Because technically I have Winstad Mine and Heralgem Farm. Those are going to be his main money-making businesses.
Right.
So he's essentially going to have people working for him because he's a Dragonborn. He doesn't need to work a day job.
I like the idea of having kind of maybe a small band of rangers and everything that kind of is under my command.
Yeah, that would be. And with Jobs of Skyrim, you could do that.
Exactly, and that's where I was thinking with that, is to be...
Yeah, that's what I've been...
That's
kind of what I've been thinking for my Sith playthrough. I'm thinking probably hiring some battle mages and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And having them follow me around and things like that. It'd be cool.
That'd be cool, yeah.
Yeah, it would. So, with my Sith playthrough, like I said, I'm just waiting for the text of, we're here, so...
We're here.
Or we're on our way. So, what time is it? Yeah, Wallingford, I live in Connecticut. So, Wallingford, where I currently live, Wallingford is about an hour and a half from where I am. So, it's going to take them a bit. So, we're probably gonna get something to eat on the way over there, probably. I don't know. So I guess we'll continue our discussion of the what if Revan was in the Clone Wars scenario, probably on Thursday.
Yep.
So definitely. I'm just watching you run around Skyrim at night with just your bow out. It's kind of funny. Just pretty much shooting things, looting, that kind of thing. You know, basic beginner Skyrim stuff.
Well, currently, it'll come up in just a moment. I am dealing with a spider right now.
Oh, frostbite spider? Yep, I see it. Yep.
And using
and it
frost,
poisons you. It looks like
is probably not the best thing for me to use at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, definitely. Considering it's a frostbite spider.
Ah, it's a little better. Oh, dear God.
Yeah, it seems you've run out of health potions, my friend.
Yeah, I kind of need to fix that.
You probably should look into, if you're going to be playing a ranger, you should definitely look into alchemy.
I was just going to say, I wanted to, for this series, to look into alchemy. And
yeah, because
really
you could actually get a clip into. Hopefully not.
Reconnection established. Please just continue. Please. Oh,
there we go.
Yep, there we go. Okay.
There we go. Now
it's just 2 videos now. I think I'm gonna place my bets, and I might end this here.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I would suggest you fast travel the right one, so you're in a safe area.
That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'm gonna fast travel to Whiterun and then save.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not gonna deal with this.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, here's the thing. If you ever want to do talking on our own, like not on stream, feel free to call me, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm available most of the day. So.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Because let's see, right now it's almost 6:00 p.m. where I am, and I assume that you live in near in California or something.
I do, yes. Yeah, it's almost 3.
Yeah, because I knew when you mentioned this one county, I was like, yeah, I have a friend who lives there. Yeah, so yeah, you live in California. Yeah.
God, that was a while that I saved. That was when I did that aerial kill of the deer running away from me.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a while ago save.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
All right, my friend. Well, it was great talking to you. I'll
definitely
catch you on Thursday.
We'll have to have another stream Thursday. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Let me know the details. Yeah. Well, thank you all for listening to me and the general just prattle on nonsensically, and hopefully we can actually get back on track next episode, whatever episode it is.
Whatever it may be.
You know what? You should actually do this Thursday. You should continue Elder Scrolls Online. We can start working on Wolfgar's lore while you're playing. Yeah, definitely. But anyway, can I do my outro, please?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Every like helps me and General Spear here. Make sure to comment below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you want us to play. Everything like that. And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to Sanglu Luna Productions and to General Spear. So until next time, this is General Lotus. You're supposed to say and General Spear.
And General Spear.
Signing off. Bye, guys.
Later. And we are live. We're live. Welcome everybody back to the live stream here. This is General Spear. We are back here with Skyrim, the Ranger journey, or whatever we're going to call this stream. I've still not yet to decide what we're going to do with that. Hello, Napal Plays. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, and as you can see the title of this video, episode 3, or session 3, we have some, it's going to be, more mods, and I've actually installed more mods. We are going to be looking at some new things today. We have a Ranger's Companion mod, which incorporates a few different Rangers in here. We also have some perks that are going to be used, and also I can turn on the music here in-game. I don't have any music for this stream. We're going to turn on the in-game music here. So about there. Hey, it's Scott Wilborn. Hey, Commander Watts. Hey, Commander Ghost. Thank you guys for coming by. So, last night, after about half an hour after the stream had processed and everything, and after it was done, actually no, after the stream was done and it was still processing, it got flagged for copyright. I used what I thought was royalty-free music, or at least that's what the music service that I use for doing music through streams. It's called Pretzel, and I had a song out there, got flagged for copyright, and so I spent, you know, about an extra half an hour or so, because I had clicked, you know, remove the song. But that's like the default one. Remove the song. And so I clicked it, and it took about half an hour to go, you know, to work on that. And then it said, unable to remove the song. Do you want to mute it? And I'm like, ugh. So I muted the song. It's all fixed now. I'm still gonna get some money off of it. There's just gonna be a part in that last night's stream, the last episode basically, where it's gonna mute for the entirety of that song, which I think was like 3 minutes long or whatever. So that happened. So we're just gonna go with the in-game music here today. So, couple things of what we're gonna do today. First off, we're gonna look at the Rangers stuff. We actually have some new perks or new skills that I've added. Hopefully they'll actually show up. One in particular that is like I thought would be good for this character, and is it gonna show up? It doesn't look like it. It does not look like it. That's kind of frustrating. That's really kind of frustrating. But anyways, it's supposed to be, it's one of the, it allows us to craft arrows, which I thought would be an excellent thing. I would love to get this ability. I thought it would be an excellent thing for us to actually make arrows, and it was a mod that I found in the workshop, and I could swear that I have it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this. I'm gonna go to the workshop, and I'm gonna take a look at this. Files, your subscribed items, craftable arrow perk. Let's actually take a look at this. Second arrow mod allows player to craft arrows in a forge. To do this, you need the Fletcher perk, which is smithing 30. Oh, it's under smithing. Well, I'm an idiot. Hold on. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. That actually, no, that makes a lot more sense that it's under smithing in that aspect. So let's take a look at this. Steel smithing, advanced armors and everything, dwarven smithing. Hold on. I don't see fletching anywhere. I don't see it. That's weird. I hope it's not one of those things where I need to actually have a new character in order to be able to do it. Because if so, that would suck. Let's go to read this again. 30 smithing. Craft a few aerospace. Let's read some of the comments here too. Great mod. Okay, it's good. Okay, so... General, did you look up the Old Kingdoms yet? I tried finding it on the Steam Workshop. Wasn't able to find it, so I'm gonna go try out the Nexus after the stream. Because I wasn't able to find it on the Workshop itself. I did, however, find the Sleeveless mod, which we should be able to get on here. I almost want to just drop these because, like, what am I going to use these for? We already have the pouch setup that I want, which was what we did the last stream. Is we configured all our pouches. They looked really, really nice and snazzy. I like it a lot. All right.
Yes, someone stole your sweet roll.
My sweet roll? I don't know. Alright, so what do we want to do with it? Oh, a little bit of lag, lockup. Do you want me to join the Discord right now, or do you want to wait until next week? You know what? Actually, let's go ahead and do that. Let's take a hot minute and do the Discord now. If you want, Lotus. If you got time. I don't want to inconvenience you if you don't. Don't want to inconvenience you if you don't. So just send me a buzz if you can. While I figure this out. Yeah, we're gonna have Lotus Sanitcrow if he's able to join us on the stream. So it's gonna be interesting. I don't know if he's gonna join us in. Well, no, we can't join in game. We're playing Skyrim. Of course, the co-op thing kind of got all cattywampus and everything.
At it again. Come on now, fight. Watch the footwork. Keep your balance. Watch it.
They're fighting. We're gonna go down here and join the companions. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. So I'm gonna go here. Quests. Speak to the leader of the companions, which we're going to do. Meantime, I'm gonna get this up. Fun stuff. So I have it all up and ready for if and when that happens. Oh, the other announcement I want to make is I recently got PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. So that's gonna be a thing eventually, at some point.
But I still hear
A stranger comes.
I would like to join the companions.
Would you now? Here, let me have a look at you. Yes, perhaps. A certain strength of spirit.
Master, you're not truly considering accepting him.
I am nobody's master, Vilkas. And last I checked, we had some empty beds in Jorvaskr for those with a fire burning in their hearts.
Apologies. But perhaps this isn't the time. I've never even heard of this outsider.
Sometimes the famous come to us. Sometimes men and women come to us to seek their fame. It makes no difference. What matters is their heart.
And their arm.
Of course. How are you in battle, boy?
Well, considering I'm at level 4 right now, I have much to learn.
That's the spirit. Vilkas here will get started on that. Vilkas, take him out to the yard and see what he can do.
Aye.
He's so thrilled by that. All right, we have quote joined the companions. Train with Vilcus. That we can do. Let's call you right now. Okay. I'm waiting. Yes, I'm waiting. And we're connecting. Somehow. I don't know if the connection's on his end or my end. It's being weird. No route? Why? This is weird. It's really weird. Oh, Discord. How you vex me so. I really don't know. By the way, for those that weren't able to make the stream last night, I am doing some artwork for people that want to do stuff. Check Discord. I am. I accepted the call. I accepted the call. What happened in the stream? It's still here. Lotus Sanitcrow's gonna join me in a call. I don't do this for everybody. Hello, hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey!
He's on!
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you, man?
Did I just mute you?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I just muted you. What's up, everyone? My name is Lotus. I'm from Sanguine Lunar Productions, and thank you for having me on, General.
Yeah, no problem, man. How you doing?
I am okay. I'm okay. I actually have to mute because I'm watching what you're doing on the stream while Discording you at the same time. I had to set up my laptop so I could Discord you properly.
Yeah, that's understandable. That is.
Ask people if they can hear me.
Can people hear people? Can the people hear Lotus over there on the stream? It'll probably take about 10-30 seconds.
Yeah, it's about hold on. Yeah, because it's pretty laggy on over here.
And of course, Discord.
Okay, yeah, I just checked. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, people can hear me. Yes, because I can hear myself because I'm watching it on my iPod. So.
Right. And of course, Discord does its whole thing of taking whatever volume.
I don't care. I don't care. Apple software update. Get out of here. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it always takes its its thing of the different volume controls and everything. And just whack,
No, it's like this is my first video call on Discord. Actually, thank you.
No problem.
I needed to actually check this myself because me and General Toby are probably going to be doing Discord as well while we're trying to do our own stuff for Dragon Ball Z Universe 2 and Arc and things like of that nature. So.
Oh, absolutely, and from my experience, it's significantly superior, especially for
yeah.
gamers.
The only problems that I'm experiencing right now is my camera. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you when I open up Discord. I can't see you in game, but
yeah,
on the Discord itself, I can.
All right. So, a little bit, I guess I should probably introduce what I do on YouTube, I guess. My name is, well, my name on YouTube is Lotus Sanitcrow. I'm one of the generals of Sangli Lunar Productions. Right now, we're starting out pretty small. Only have a few subscribers, a few views, and things like that. But my Skyrim playthrough is getting some attention. Apparently, I checked
Dragonborn series. That's going awesome.
Yes, I was actually surprised that people actually enjoyed it the way that they did.
I think that there's a lot of potential for the story because I'm exiting out of my Skyrim for a moment because the freaking mouse wheel is deciding, oh, let's show up in the middle of the stream again. But,
yeah, that's why I play it on Xbox. That's why I play mine on Xbox. You know, like I play Discord. I play XCOM 2 and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars. Let's take a look at what games I actually have.
Oh yeah.
I have XCOM 2. Don't have any of the DLC though. Although those are on my wish list in case anybody wants to get them for me. Hint, hint. I got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I got Star Wars Empire at War with the Force. I got the bundle on Steam.
Nice.
And I also installed the Clone Wars mod for Forces of Corruption, so I can actually choose whether to play Forces of Corruption or Clone Wars. I always go Clone Wars.
I got Roller Coaster. I've heard that the Battlefield one or the Battlefront one for Forces of Corruption was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was really good actually. It was. Because it pretty much combined the Clone Wars and like the Galactic Empire, like the Galactic Civil War all together.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's different galactic conquests that take place in the different time periods. It's pretty cool.
Which is something that you know the previous ones didn't really touch on. It was kind of their own separate thing, which is cool if you want to play era by era. But this allowed for just, you know, intergalactic era stuff, which was cool.
Yeah. Okay, I got Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, the triple pack. I got this old school. Okay, a little story about me. When I was growing up, I was like a young teenager, and I had this desktop. Total. Can I swear? Can I use certain swear words?
Kind of, you know.
Okay, so reason. Not the F word or the S word. Got it. Okay, it was. I had a desktop that was a total piece of crap, and. But it was able to run one of my favorite. It was like a city builder game, but it took place in ancient Egypt. It's called Pharaoh, and it came with the Cleopatra expansion, which was pretty cool.
I think I heard about this. This was
it was a really fun game. Like for what it because the cool thing was that I was in 6th grade and we were doing and when I was in 6th grade we were doing And the 6th graders at my school would always do a project on ancient Egypt. So actually playing this game was my project contribution. I actually brought the game, installed it on like a bunch of the laptops and let kids play it themselves.
Huh.
And I got a straight A for that. I actually beat everybody in school with that kind of project, essentially letting people build their own ancient Egyptian cities and stuff. So
yeah, that's really cool.
I got Battle for Middle-earth 2. And I think the last game I have on here is Star Wars: The Old Republic. Although that runs pretty, it's pretty slow.
One game that I appreciated a lot before the powers that be of, you know, whether it was Lucasfilm or in this case LucasArts or whatever took it down or whatnot, or the servers rather, was I think it was wasn't Battlegrounds, it was a Star Wars universe where you could do like an RPG kind of build character, kind of similar to KOTOR, but it was
I know what you're I actually know what you're talking about. I cannot remember the game for crap. I can't remember, and that pisses me off. But
it's one of those things where like you can remember what it was about, but you can't remember the title of it.
Yeah, it's so. But I think one of the reasons I wanted to stream with you was because you and I wanted to talk about to do a what if scenario for the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
All right. So for those of you out there, me and the general were this isn't gonna be our official like actual stream, by the way. I'm actually just joining in, by the way. Our official stream will be next Thursday. We're still sorting it was supposed to be this Thursday, but you were sick, and you know, I was like, it's kind of funny. I actually messaged when you actually streamed anyway. I was like, oh, so you're streaming? It's okay. I messaged you on Discord. I was like, okay, I like the comment I left. I was like, it's okay, man. I'm not mad. I would just have liked the notification on Discord.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where like I was semi feeling good enough to like to
at least get something out. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I feel that. I actually was supposed to like release episode 6 of Drunken Dragonborn this week, but I was not feeling well. Right. I'm actually leaving here, I think, in a couple of hours because I'm going to a metal concert. For those of you who don't know, I live in New England, but there's this huge concert that's going on with one of my friends who runs this metal charity called Kill the Cancer, and it's really awesome. You guys should check it out on Facebook. Plug in right there. But
no, it's all right. I mean, it sounds amazing. It sounds
yeah,
really
like
awesome.
like his mother, like my best friend Sloth's, his mom has cancer, and so he started this more as a way to raise money to help pay for her medical expenses, and it just exploded into something. It was we're having metal bands from New York and Connecticut and like Massachusetts all coming together at this one venue. It's gonna be huge. Like I'm so looking forward to it.
That sounds awesome. That sounds really awesome.
It's great.
So I don't know if you've been watching the stream at all. As you can see, I was trying to join up with the companions there.
Yeah, it's actually like going like 2 to 3. General, do you live in the USA?
I do.
I'm actually looking at. I'm like, yes, I think he's also talking about me as well. Yes, I do live in the USA. Yes, I may sound like I'm from Canada, but no. I wish I lived in Canada, considering what's been going on recently. But we're not going to talk about that.
Not this time, anyways.
Not this time, anyway.
So so I was just trying to fight Vilcus there, and I took off all the magic because the companions don't use magic or anything like that. I'm just like, I still can't fight him.
You can still use enchanted weapons on Vilcus and stuff.
Oh no, I mean the thing that I think he was talking about was if I go into my magic.
No magic. Yeah, the companions are very straight like fighter guild. And actually, what the Drunken Dragonborn, what I'm gonna do. Little spoiler. Like I explained, his father is a Nord warrior and his mother was a Breton and sorceress. So essentially, the path I'm gonna go down is Harbinger and Archmage. Those are the factions I'm going for. So
right.
I'm probably going. Did you actually know that you could actually destroy the Dark Brotherhood? You don't have to join them. You can actually destroy them.
Really? Because I was under the impression that they were. I mean, like you can't destroy.
Well, you can destroy them utterly. Essentially, what you do is instead of killing those people that Astrid gets pretty much collects for you to kill, you actually kill her instead, and you take the Blade of Woe and you show it to a guard, and the guard points you in the direction of the Secret Service of the Emperor, Commander Maes, and he gives you the passcode to get into the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary. And you just go in there and you just wreck shit.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Sorry, I didn't mean. Sorry, what's the habit?
It happens.
Sorry. But yeah, and then you go back to the commander, and he pretty much says, "Oh, I'm gonna tell the Emperor what you did. You just saved more people than you could possibly realize." Things like that.
Interesting.
So he pretty much, and you get like 10,000 gold for that.
Wow. That's actually a pretty interesting plot twist.
Like, really. It is. Yeah, and I've been thinking of maybe having Ragnar join do the Thieves Guild questline. Although he's not really much of a sneaker or anything, I think he'll probably go for the more brute force kind of options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the way you're building the character, it does sound like, at least from what I've been watching so far, it seems like he might be more of a brute character than...
Yeah, he's like the front lines kind of leader kind of guy. And that's kind of how
he doesn't strike me as the cloak and dagger kind of.
Yeah, he actually said, and remember in the first episode how he actually says that when he takes out the bear. Yeah,
I do, yes.
It's like, you're not the sneaking type, are you? Nope. Never have been, never will be. Nope. I love episode 3 because when Yell Baldruff asks you to kill the dragon, I said, "Say what now?" Like, I'm in as Ragnar, I'm like, "Say what now?" It's like, you survived Helgen, so you have more experience than anybody else here. I'm like, with what? Running away from them?
Exactly. Like the Jarl doesn't understand the situation of, I've been in a city where there was a dragon attack. That doesn't mean that I know how to fight one.
Yeah. I was like, but so I see you do the same thing I do, where instead of like going, because I just saw on the stream, instead of like going the winding path of Whiterun, you just like, outside of Whiterun gates to go into the rest of Whiterun, you just jump over the gate, pretty much. Yeah, it's so much easier to do. It really is. Yes.
I mean, there's not exactly an easy way to get up that gate without going the winding route. But,
well, there is, but you have to. Yeah, there is, but you have to use like a cheat in order to just float up there. Yeah. But actually, did you look up Convenient? I think Convenient Horses is actually on the Steam Workshop, and what it essentially does, it makes your horse like, you can build armor for your horse. You can make your horse into kind of like a walk. You can have them carry. You can have your horse carry crap for you, things like that.
Interesting. Yeah. Because
if you're gonna be a hunter type build, then you definitely want to look at Convenient Horses.
Absolutely.
It definitely would, and you can actually level up your horse and increase its attributes as well. So,
which is actually that's something that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you put it in endurance, you actually like, say for example, it's like you have because you can actually make decisions about the horse, and that allows you to customize how the horses, like the carry weight, like you could the way I do boxes, you could haul a mountain. So essentially, it's near limitless what you can strap on the horse. If you put more points in its endurance, that only increases that amount. So, it's like, but it's pretty cool. So, and it also increases the horse's health as well. So climbing up mountains and stuff won't be so dangerous.
Not that climbing up mountains with horses was ever, remotely thought possible because just of that whole aspect.
Yeah, but I didn't care. I used to climb up with Shadowmare all the time. It was great.
It's an 87-degree angle up this mountain. Let's climb it with a horse.
Well, yeah, I didn't care. Nobody cares. That's the thing about Skyrim. It's like there's a set path, and then there's the path you take, and that's pretty much how it works. It's like, I've actually had my ex-girlfriend actually. She was over my house one time, and she asked me, I'm pretty much climbing up mountain with my horse, and she's like, "Why don't you just go along a path?" And I say, "Because that's what newbies do. You go straight up the mountain on a horse. That's how you play Skyrim." So
always and forever.
Yeah, always and forever. But let's get to the what if scenario segment, shall we?
Yeah, definitely.
So I've been thinking a lot about this, and I've kind of been actually looking into the Star Wars lore and everything. So let's say, for the sake of argument, Revan comes back not as himself, right? He kind of comes back, I guess, in a new body, kind of like in a newborn baby, but his connection to the Force, all of his memories are in that child, in a way. Because that's actually happened. Reincarnation has happened. Take a look at that. Revan has a lesser version of that. So,
right, yes.
But, so, he finds a way to reincarnate himself, not perfectly, because he's essentially doing what Ozpin has done in Ruby, which is essentially switching from body to body, essentially. Right. So, so let's say, for the sake of argument, that he... let's say this is around the time that Plagueis finds... Darth Plagueis finds Palpatine. At the same time, a baby is born. And for argument's sake, we'll call that baby New Revan. So New Revan then is actually sensed by Plagueis, but Plagueis can't pinpoint it because where this new power is, because Revan is essentially manipulating the Force around that baby so that the Jedi find him first. So, because essentially you have a super powerful Force ghost attached to a baby, in a way. Kind of like what Valkorion did to the Outlander. Right. It's essentially the same principle, in a way. So, let's just say, for the sake of argument, that happens. Do you think, can we agree that that could possibly happen in this kind of a scenario?
I think so, from just a multiple aspects of what we know already within the Star Wars universe of, just unforeseeable things happening with,
because the Force is essentially just a living thing, in a way. And it's just like, it shifts and just does all sorts of things, It's just, it's able to do things that not even Valkorion was able to truly master it,
Right, absolutely. And one of the things that is very interesting is that, you have these things that are happening within the Force already that are quote-unquote unnatural, as Palpatine would, surmise. I mean, Plagueis, if what the legend about Plagueis is true about him being able to bring people back from death, basically, who's to say that this isn't possible, that there can be a reincarnation of in this case, Revan.
Someone as powerful as Revan. Someone who essentially mastered the light and the dark side of the Force, in a way. So let's say that he... So, the way I see it, that early years of Revan is essentially the child knows that he's different. And Revan slowly starts... I wouldn't say exerting his will over the child, but essentially letting the child know that he is there, and and he's watching over him, making sure, and what he's essentially doing is grooming him so he can and get, like, this child is like Revan when he was a child, incredibly smart, incredibly like athletic, that kind of thing, like is able to do so many things. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that that the Jedi finally find him late. He's about 5, and he already has such a connection to the Force that rivals the Chosen One, rivals Anakin. So,
and it's something that they can't ignore, basically.
They can't ignore it, definitely not. So they try to make sure that the Dark Forces don't get a hold of him. They take him to the Jedi Temple on Coruscant. But this is all part of Revan's plan, because Revan knows about the Rule of Two. Revan pretty much knows everything. He's been seeing through the Force what the Sith have been doing. But he knows that he can't reveal himself to the Jedi Council, because the Jedi are kind of iffy about Revan, even at this time. Like, Revan is a legend. He's revered by some Jedi, hated by others. Essentially, he is, and I would see the wisdom in him revealing himself to Master Yoda. I would see, revealing himself in a way, and pretty much explaining to Yoda what he's been doing. Now, Yoda may not agree with it, but he may also, accept that this is something that has to happen, in a way. So, essentially, we start the Jedi training of this child, of Neo Revan. and Revan is influencing this child, the power of Revan, and it's showing he's mastering everything. Like, you remember in Knights of the Old Republic when your character, before he knew he was actually Revan, is just like, oh, look, I'm taking a look at what you assaulting Valheim's tower. Does not look like you're having a good time, my friend.
No, not at all. This bandit is a little bit tougher than I expected it to be.
Yeah, looks like. Did you stock up on potions? Did you stock up on potions?
I have not. I don't think I've used any potions since the beginning. So yeah, I have a bunch.
Yeah, you should probably start. Oh, you know what? You need to get for restoration. Definitely get healing hands if you're thinking about bringing a person with you.
Healing hand, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have amazing follower tweaks?
Whoa! He just fell.
Yeah. I did you just fall? Because I actually just saw you. Take a
fell.
Crap ton of damage. Yeah.
There we go. I just got him.
Oh, you did. Nice.
You'll see what happened in a moment, and I don't know if I can actually get back up to him. Take it. Loot him.
What? Yeah. Well. So essentially, Revan is influencing this child. Pretty much, this child is incredibly intelligent, incredibly powerful, like incredibly skilled, like Jedi Masters, actually age of 9. Like, he's not training with the little ones in Yoda's anymore. He is essentially almost like in a different tier of his own, you know, like. Absolutely. Or her own, her own. You never know. Mm-hmm. With Revan, so you know he takes. So I think Yoda would probably take personal tutelage of this.
Probably.
Of this Probably, because I think Yoda would probably know that there's more to this child than meets the eye.
Absolutely, especially if it's somebody who rivals Anakin,
the chosen one.
Yeah. At that point.
And at this point, they don't know who Anakin is, so they're thinking that this child is the chosen one in a way.
Absolutely.
You know, at this point, the Trade Federation hasn't been. I think like at this point, like Palpatine is now starting to get the Trade Federation to start doing the CIS everything, you know?
Right.
Like like he and Plague build, and at the same time they also have talked to Jango Fett. So if we're gonna be doing it, so let's fast forward to the Phantom Menace at this point. Now at this point, the child is, I'd say, already is almost as powerful as many knights. Like he's almost on par with lightsaber combat. He rivals Mace Windu. Like Mace Windu would legit duel him, and this child, this teenager would almost beat him in a way, you know. And I think at this point, Yoda's the only one who knows that Revan is in this child, is in this person.
Because if anybody would know, Yoda would be the most likely candidate. Because
unlike the other Jedi, he's not. Unlike the other Jedi because you saw what Palpatine did to the dark side clouded a lot of the Jedi's minds.
Absolutely.
But
Yoda was really the only one.
Yoda was one of
even though his vision was still clouded, he knew that there was something beyond just that cloudedness.
The Clone Wars.
Like
he knew there was something beyond all of this.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever that he would know that at the very least there is a powerful being within this child, if not Revan himself.
Yeah. And I think at this point, Revan and this child would already have like an almost kind of like inseparable bond. You know?
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Oh, it looks like we got a let me fix this real quick. Yep. I'm going to remove this comment. There we go.
Thank you.
I can't ban this person. I can't ban this person because they were promoting, because they're basically just a promotion bot.
Yeah.
But what I can do is put the user in time. Oh, I can block them. Okay. I was wondering about that. All right. Now okay, I blocked them. There you go.
So
You're welcome.
It'll show up in a moment. I just killed this scavenger.
Yes.
And he's got some really nice gear on him.
Oh yeah? Nice. Oh, as a hunter, are you going to be primarily focusing on light armor?
Yeah, I am. And there's a mod that I installed for some ranger gear that's actually apparently pretty good.
Yeah, they actually have a variation of that on the Xbox version. So I know what you're talking about. Yeah. The Xbox version has some pretty neat mods, though. Like
I've seen some of the stuff there on one of my friends' Xbox.
Dude, like if you took a look at when I became Thane, like the Old Kingdom weapon overhaul, like you saw Dova Creed, you saw my battle axe that I got from Balgraf. That's actually like a custom made Thane weapon.
Which is crazy to think that somebody took the time and everything to do that.
Dude,
that's amazing.
Dawnbreaker looks like a freaking cross. It looks like a freaking cross sword. Like, it's just, it's incredible. It really is. Like even Harkon's sword is actually, like, because I was in the cheat room and I was just kind of like, in my spare time, and I was in the cheat room and I was just kind of taking a look at all the different weapons. It's like they pretty much took like a bunch of these named these weapons, like these Thane weapons, and like custom weapons. Like Ulfric's axe looks incredible. It looks incredible. It was like, it's something that I would actually use, you know. Like I actually, and if you saw me become Thane of Morthal, I actually got a special blade that actually looks really cool. And I probably wouldn't use it, but if I was an assassin kind of character, that would be the kind of weapon I would use. Or like some kind of
one of those things where you look at that and you go, this is a piece of art right here, quite literally. Because...
Yeah, it's like I almost don't want to kill you with this.
Right.
Almost. Stab, stab, stab. It's like I almost
Nutsbo, I like the name. Nutsbo asks, what mods do you have? I am using a plethora of mods, some that are kind of overlapping with my Grey Jedi series that I have going on in Skyrim, and then so a bunch of Star Wars mods
you can actually you know what you can actually do? You can actually temporarily disable those mods, but
I know, but then it's putting them back.
Well,
in,
I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, but the cool thing about the Xbox One version is that you can actually just go into the load order, disable mods, but you don't delete them, and then you can play a separate character, and then you just switch between characters and you switch between mods. It's just a simple thing of just pressing a button to turn it on or off.
And
I feel
like that's something that they tried doing again with Fallout 4 and just didn't.
It didn't work. No, it didn't. Yeah, here's the problem with Fallout 4 for the Xbox. The Skyrim Special Edition was built for mods, so that's why it doesn't crash as often as Fallout 4 does for me. Because I just and Fallout 4 was essentially just their beta testing for console mods, and it shows. Only gotten better with patches and everything like that, but it's nowhere near as stable as modded Skyrim on the Xbox.
Right.
Because I mean. It's so how are you enjoying natural and atmospheric Tamriel? Isn't it great?
It's
beautiful.
Like it was one of the first mods that I ever picked up as far as an atmospheric mod and everything, and I've used it for a while now, and it's the most gorgeous thing ever. I love it.
Isn't it? Dude, if rain falls in puddles, it actually shows the rain, like,
it's amazing.
And like
I love it.
Like falling in the ocean. It just like snow actually blinds you. Like even without wet and cold, it's the lighting. Oh my God, it's the lighting. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm actually a Norse pagan. that's my religion. I don't know what religion you general, but my religious tendencies tend go towards the old Nordic ways and kind of things. So,
Which
but
is cool.
but yeah, which is cool. I actually, we actually sacrifice humans. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We don't do that. That's normally frowned upon by local authorities. So,
generally speaking, yes.
Generally speaking, yes.
Commander Ghost asks, how many armor types are there in Skyrim and like in vanilla or?
Let's okay. I think let me think about it. I know that there's hide, iron, steel, imperial.
There's Daedric.
I'm doing it from order of smithing skill.
Gotcha.
I know that in the vanilla version there's all of those, and there's dwarven, elven, glass, orcish.
Which glass still befuddles me.
It's not technically glass. It's more of a more volcanic kind of glass. It's kind of like obsidian, except like much more magical.
Right.
Then there's ebony, then there's Daedric, and then there's dragon bone and dragon scale.
And of course, all of those are categorized into either light or heavy armor,
or
basically.
Heavy, yes. And then when you get into Dawnguard and Hearthfire, well, technically Dawnguard and Dragonborn. Hearthfire just added homesteads and stuff. But then you have and then there's like different kinds of armors, like scale and like plate and all those things. It like for the vanilla game itself, it actually has a pretty good variety of armor types to choose from. It does.
Hey, the Black Room, welcome to the stream. Hope you had
greetings.
fun playing Player Unknown Battlegrounds.
I don't think you are. I think you're playing Skyrim, my friend.
No, I was telling him how we had fun because I was watching his stream earlier and he was streaming that.
Oh, you are? Oh, so he's a stream. So he's a streamer too. Nice.
Yeah. So Block and I, one of our first streams we did together, I think was, I can't remember if it was GTA or if it was,
still got a bit of a frog in your throat.
Yeah, a little bit. I think it was Civilization 5 that we first streamed together, and then we went on to doing GTA 5, and that was just crazy.
Yeah. Oh, GTA 5 is fun. I live with my mom still, and she doesn't allow GTA anything. So, she's one of those moms. Like, I can play Skyrim and Fallout, and she doesn't care that people's heads get blown off or anything like that. But see one woman in Scan. It's kind of funny. Okay.
She would not like any of the Saints Row games.
I got Final Fantasy 15 from a friend, and I was borrowing it from my best friend, who's also a member, who's also part of Reiner. I think I talked about him at one point. He let me borrow Final Fantasy 15, right? And you know how one of the big things in that game is that driving a car. So I'm driving a car down the beginning area. My mom is doing laundry downstairs. And she says, "Are you playing Grand Theft Auto 5?" I'm like, "No, Mom, I'm playing Final Fantasy 15." She's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, And what I had to do was essentially just get out of the car, show her the character. She's like, "Oh, you are playing Final Fantasy. Okay, carry on."
That's funny. Yeah, she would not like any of the Saints Row games or Agents of Mayhem.
I actually enjoyed the hell out of Saints Row the Third. I loved that game with a passion.
Did you ever get Out of Hell?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think of
I pretty much played. It was interesting. It was very interesting. A very interesting take. I especially like how you fought that dude from the second game that you threw out of a building now owns a good portion of hell, and Satan is in debt to him. I thought that was hysterical.
Oh, absolutely.
I thought that was hysterical. I'm like, are you kidding me? You already have a business down here?
Pretty much.
I'm like, I'm like, how did you even get it? How did you even make the devil? The devil himself owes you souls. How did you do that? How did you do? I didn't even. I had to rewatch the entire circuit the whole time after he saw that. I'm like, how did you even make?
Let's see. Oh yeah, we also did Rocket League. That was the Rocket League's amazing.
Now come at me. What do you think this is?
Sounds
We don't do
great.
battle with magic around here, new blood. Now come at me. What do you think this is? We don't do battle.
General.
What
Yeah?
do you think this is?
Oh, there you
We
are.
don't do
Okay.
battle with magic around
Okay, I was about to say, did we disconnect? I had to check real quick. There we go.
Now come at me.
Speaking of which, General, if you could switch to Discord real quick, what do you think of my beard?
Now come
Hold on a
at
second here. Oh, it looks fantastic. I like it.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because my hair color is actually different from my beard color. Like, my hair color is more of a chestnut reddish brown, and my beard is just pure copper with a blonde soul patch. It's like I essentially have the colors of fall on my face. And I love it because my dad's the same. I actually look more like my dad than any other kid in my family.
I like it. Alright, I think I need to get a two-handed sword because for whatever reason this I'm having trouble with Vilcus again, and I'm like, I've not enabled any magic at all, and he's still giving me that message of, we don't use magic here. Put this, come at me.
What I would suggest you would do is probably Quest Debugger would probably help you a long way because it essentially allows you to redo the quest. So it essentially resets everything for that quest, so you can just do it again in case there's a bug. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, it's kind of annoying, especially if you've gotten really far in it. But it's like much better than you having a broken quest.
Right. And I actually had to I have to restart the game anyways because it's giving me that let's bring in the mouse kind of deal, the white mouse, and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
Quest Debugger. I'll look that up right now.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to use, and there's a good chance that you might hurt your game save if you do it incorrectly. So you have to really follow the instructions that it gives you, step by step. Like seriously.
Right.
So because there's a very good chance that you could ruin the quest altogether, and you can't even do that storyline. So. Just keep that in mind.
Understandable.
So while we're doing that, let's get back to our what if scenario. So I think Revan's 16. Well, Neo Revan is 16, and at this point, Revan and this teenager have a nearly unshakable bond. He's essentially had Revan as his primary master, not really Yoda. Because Yoda was offering him mainly Jedi wisdom that even Revan said was kind of stupid. He didn't really understand. And in case you didn't know this, Revan was actually Mandalorian.
That's what he was actually a lot about. Yeah,
he was a Mandalorian. Yeah, it was confirmed. By BioWare. Revan was technically Mandalorian. He was the son of Mandalore the Indomitable, who was a Tog, which were the race that you could truly say were the true Mandalorians. That's kind of why in the Clone Wars, when Maul became when Darth Maul became the leader of Black Watch, how that woman, I don't remember her name. Was essentially no, we won't have outsiders. We're pure Mandalorians, and I'm essentially, I just wanted to raise my finger, technically you're not really truly Mandalorian to begin with. Technically, the race that you got your culture from has already died out about 1,000 or 2,000 years ago.
Right.
So. Yeah, so you're not technically really Mandalorian, really true blood Mandalorians. You just follow the culture of Mandalore, that Mandalore put in place, essentially.
Right.
So, So I would suggest you not say that, because as somebody who loves the time of the Mandalorian Wars, who loves Revan, who loves the way that the Mandalorian, I actually watched your Mandalorian campaign. Did you know that?
Yeah, I noticed
XCOM
that.
2?
Yeah.
I watched that because I was actually very curious, and I saw a lot of messages like, "Yeah, we're true Mandalorians," and comments, and I was like, "Oh,
I think it's for people that like the nostalgia of what Mandalorians represented, but don't realize that it's technically a lost culture."
Yeah, and it looks like the stream has frozen on your end. I'm taking a look.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See, this is one of the perks of having somebody watching the stream for you.
Well, I mean, it's a blank screen at the moment because I had to reload the game, and I was also
it's entirely frozen right now. It's entirely frozen. Like your camera's frozen.
It might come back in just a moment here.
I'm probably gonna have to. Yeah, you should probably.
What was that? I think the audio cut out there again.
Let's take a look. Yeah. Oh, I see you now. Okay,
yep,
I see you now. All right, I see you now. Okay.
Internet be acting weird.
Oh no, it's the same with me right now. Like,
well, something that I've noticed, and this is actually something that Blocker and the guy I was talking about earlier is, because we both use OBS to stream. And it's
Kiba's here. Hey Kiba, how you doing?
Kiba the Barbarian. Yay!
Yay.
Okay. So in any case, we both use it to stream because it's free, free.
And I use OBS Studio to record.
Right. So what we're noticing is that even though YouTube is having all these latency issues, we also think it's partly the way that OBS is encoded or something like that. That's making.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. Because I've noticed when I'm recording, like the network quality, like you've probably seen me rage like during episodes when everything's just freezing up, and then just like during episodes of the Drunken Dragonborn, where I'm like, stop it, that kind of thing.
Definitely, yeah.
Like, yeah, I think it's inherently because OBS Studio is mainly. I think it's the way I was actually taking a look at the way it's coded, because I'm a programmer. Because that's what I'm mainly getting certifications for is for website programming. But I'm also building a video game with a bunch of my friends, and I hope that when it comes out you'll feature it on the channel.
Nice.
Yeah. So we actually made our own indie company. So it'd be nice to have a beta tester. Hint, hint.
Dude, I'd love to check it out. What's are you able to talk about the game, or is it not?
I am not able to talk about the game. I'm not able to talk about the game at all.
Okay.
No. But I cannot tell you anything about it.
That's fine.
I can tell you this one thing.
That.
I can tell you this one thing. It is an RPG.
Sweet.
You've done us a great service.
Sweet.
That's all I can say. And we are building it on Unreal Engine. So
that's gonna be really sweet then, because I mean,
yeah, I'm actually having a lot of fun programming on Unreal Engine.
I think with the Unreal Engine, because I was a part of a startup that didn't really go anywhere because we were all students at the time. We might begin it again, I don't know, but
yeah,
we were gonna be using the Unreal Engine for that, and from what we could tell at the time, this was a few years ago, that there was a lot of untapped potential that the Unreal Engine
there's so much. Like, I actually saw a video of this video game being developed by one guy, and it looks like graphics quality wise, it looks like Final Fantasy 15 type graphics.
Oh, wow.
And he programmed it all himself. Just one person doing this.
It's a shame.
And
That's amazing.
Looks if it was cake, you wouldn't even want to eat it. That's how good it looks. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And my boss, aka one of my good friends, Kelvin, who pretty much was the mastermind behind this whole video game series, and pretty much started Chaotic Strike Game Studios. He said, I shared that in the group chat on Facebook, and he essentially said that is what we are aiming for. We need to do this. We need to have this level of quality. So
no, but it's like we've been talking about, is that Unreal Engine. I think a lot of game companies are realizing the potential for it now, and what it can be used for, and just.
Yeah.
It makes everything significantly easier because of the way it's coded, because of the way it's set up. You still have to put work into it, but it's not a hassle like other programs and everything.
The cool thing is that I actually know how to use Blender for 3D modeling and stuff like that.
Blender is interesting, yes.
Yes, it's hard to figure out at first, but once you figure it out, it's like it's essentially just painting with a brush. It's great.
Absolutely.
It's actually kind of funny. So I know that you know a little bit about the anime Bleach, right?
A little bit, yes.
A little bit. So you know about Shinigamis, you've seen Visors, you've seen Hollows, all that stuff. For the most
part, yeah.
So, and you know that Ichigo is essentially a god among men at this point. So, yes, he's essentially a god, even among the death gods. So, essentially, I actually have my own multiverse. I've actually created an entire story. I've created bloodlines. This is what I do in my spare time when I should be looking for a job.
Got some good pieces out here if you're looking to buy.
Whatever amount works.
Whatever amount works, yes. Because I do fan fictions and stuff like that. So this is essentially my ultimate fan fiction, and it surrounds the lives of two gods that I actually created. They were the first two characters that I made of me and my best friend Reiner. When we started being friends. Whenever I become good friends with someone, I usually make a character to try to honor their friendship in a way. It's kind of a weird thing for me, but yeah, it's kind of like when you draw something for free for a friend as a gift. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, it's because you're an artist. So it's essentially kind of like the same thing. I create a character based on that friend that has earned that much of my trust. So. These were the first two characters I actually created, and from it, I created an entire multiverse. I created an entire, inter-universal government. It's like you have the inter-universal Congress, which is like the Senate from Star Wars on absolute steroids. Like you have like an entire sitting military of just clones and Republic soldiers, space marines of Gondorians, all these armies joining together under one cause to defend the multiverse. And
that's pretty cool.
And I created my own race of evil. They're called Hellspawn. If you've ever played Dragon Age, if any of you have ever played Dragon Age, you're probably familiar with the Darkspawn.
Yes.
Essentially, the Hellspawn.
Bane of my freaking existence.
Essentially, the Hellspawn. What the Hellspawn are is that the Voidmaster, in my lore, in my multiverse's lore, actually took orcs and uruks and darkspawn and demons and devils and just mixed them together and created Hellspawn. The weakest Hellspawn could let's put this in terms of Shadow of War. The strongest Uruk captain would get his butt handed to him by the weakest Hellspawn. That's how powerful these things are.
They're pretty nasty. They're pretty nasty.
They are extremely nasty, and they come in hordes and hordes. And their primary goal and their primary motivation is in life: do whatever the Voidmaster tells them to do. Essentially, and they don't care what gets in the way. They don't care who they kill. These guys have been known to exterminate universes. And it's kind of ties into a lot of things, because you know how canceled series for games and things like that. Right?
Pieces out.
Uh-huh.
In my lore, that Hellspawn were responsible for the destruction of those universes, so that's why they're canceled.
So I just had a fascinating thing happen. I don't know what necessarily took place, but I just got up to 100 smithing.
Really?
Yeah.
You got up to 100 smith. Let me take a look at your. Let me take a look at that smithing skill, then, my friend.
And I leveled up. I'm still leveling up.
Yeah. No, that's. Hold on. I need to actually. My friend Sloth just sent me a message. I need to check. Okay. Hey, broski.
I'm still going. Level 18. What? What happened to get me
extra free
this far? I think I broke Skyrim.
I think you may have. Yeah. It
Like,
looked. It's funny. You probably did a glitch. Yeah.
I might have.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. You are legit. Oh, there's Fletcher. There it is.
Yeah. So Fletcher showed up out of the blue. Whatever. I don't know.
All right, my friend. Okay, so we might, if you want to continue streaming, that's fine. But my friends are actually going to be leaving in about a half hour to pick me up. So in like a half hour or so, I'm gonna have to leave the stream.
That's fine. That is absolutely fine. I'll probably continue afterwards, but yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. And we can definitely, and since we're getting off topic so much, I figured that we could probably continue our discussion of Revan and the Clone Wars.
Absolutely.
But I'm not leaving right now. I'm not leaving right now, guys. I'm not leaving right now. Stop blowing up the chat, please.
It's like, stop the phone away. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not leaving right now. They're going to be on their way in a half hour. But I've been looking forward to this concert for a while. I've needed to get a lot of aggression out in the mosh pit since it's frowned upon to punch somebody in the face for being an idiot. So
I think I straight up just broke, or at least, and not necessarily break, but I achieved a glitch somewhere.
What did you do exactly?
I was just smithing. I was just going back and forth creating some different items. And
you know what you did? That's actually a real glitch in the game.
Really?
Yeah, what you did. I'm gonna have to rewatch the stream.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know on Discord.
Sure.
What exactly you did, but that's actually a real glitch for smithing.
Interesting, because
because it occasionally, because here's what happens when you have so many mods. It starts messing up the actual game code in small, subtle ways.
Uh-huh.
So, crafting, I had one time where I crafted an iron dagger, and my smithing skill went from 15 to 60. I was like, what?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
But yeah, so now I have,
quite a few perk points. I see them. Yes, you're investing them places I think you should. Good.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm building this ranger character.
You're pretty much building. So yeah, you're not going to be using as much magic, but you want to have basic destruction and restoration.
Absolutely.
Some alteration skills.
And everything.
I would suggest actually as something as you should probably have bound bow and bound sword if you're going to be playing that kind of a character, because technically if we're going to be talking immersion wise, it would make sense for a character like yours who's investing some perks and magic to have those kinds of spells at hand.
Absolutely, absolutely. So
yeah.
for the just to pause for just a moment, for those that just saw that on the channel, Lotus, you're going to see in a moment. My wife was just holding up my cat because people have been asking about.
Oh, yeah. I just saw. Yeah, hold on. Let me wait. Let me wait.
He's
hold
adorable.
On. Oh, there he is.
Uh-huh.
Wow, there he is.
Kiba's been occasionally asking about him.
You know what's funny? I love how your wife smartly kept her face out of the camera. Like you saw the shirt she was wearing and everything, but her face, nope, it was all blocked. Conveniently. I like that. That was very classy.
Well, the thing about it is that her presence is, of course, on YouTube. We did start another channel together a few years ago.
Oh, you did?
We've not done another video since. But yeah, she's not on this channel. At least she's not made much of an appearance at all. You hear the voice.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, I've actually occasionally during this Discord, I've occasionally heard of I would say a sweet female voice in the background occasionally. I guess I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. I just have to say I'm very happy that you are. I'm very happy.
Oh, yeah. I am too. I mean,
I'm just glad that you found some. Because my ex-fiance. Yes. Yeah, that happened.
Oh.
Yeah, that happened. That still kind of hurts. That still kind of hurts.
So
is it bad that
is
it bad that I'm just used to that now? Is it bad? Is that bad that I'm just used to that now?
it's a different thing altogether. Like
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, she essentially I don't know if I should go into exact details, but let's just say she took cheating to an entire 10. Yeah, and then she had the nerve to blame me for that. So I pretty much asked for my ring back, and we no longer talk.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. It's okay.
Speaking of the leader of the Dawn Guard, that happened randomly out of the blue.
That yes, yeah, because the guards occasionally like bring up it's like it's like hey, what are these that are restarting the Dawn Guard? Vampire hunters or something on the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself. You know what's funny? In the game that I'm building, I'm actually doing voice acting.
Nice.
So I asked Kelvin. I was like, look, I need to do some shopkeepers. Please let me do some shopkeepers. So in the starting town, I actually do the voice for the blacksmith and the alchemist, and it's kind of funny because the way I've actually written their backstories too. So it's like Skyrim-esque. You can ask, what brings you here? That kind of thing. You know, what made you start up in this town? And the blacksmith is an Irish dwarf who hails from the mountains of whatever. We'll probably figure it out once we build the map.
I like
it. He hails from the kingdom of dwarves off in the mountains, and I've brought my wares here to make sure that adventurers like yourselves don't get caught dead without the right protection in mind. Now, you're gonna ask anything else stupid, or are you gonna buy some of my wares? So,
I love it. I love it.
And then for the alchemist, I made a snarky British elven alchemist, who looks disdainfully at new adventurers, like, oh, you could never afford my higher wares. Why do I even bother selling to you people? I could have such a better clientele in the capital city. The things I must do. And he will actually be a reoccurring character. He'll actually be in the capital city later in the series. Like, oh, so you did make you did make your way here. You probably still don't have nearly enough money to buy my specialty brews and such. But whatever. I get you were a good patron in that little hole that I called my startup. So I suppose I should let you take a look at my wares.
Something I had a question for you about. Do you know if there's a mod that allows you to show... I mean, I know this happens in Fallout 4 for sure, but I was wondering if there was a mod that shows both their weapons. Like, say if you have a bow and a sword...
Yes, there is, actually. I'm glad you asked. Yes, there is. There's quite a few, actually, that actually do that. The one for PC that you especially should look for, it's actually on the Nexus. It's called Ultimate Equipping Overhaul. And you can actually customize it the way you want. Like, if you drop one of your weapons, you can actually, like, press a button, your character will start looking for it.
Huh.
It's so cool. Like if you drop a weapon by accident, you can actually, your character will actually retrace their steps, and you will find that weapon in that exact spot.
Interesting. Well, I've written that down. I will definitely check it out.
Yes. There's also and if you can't find that, there's visible equipment, I think it's called. I'll send you a message, I guess, later this week of a bunch of mods that you should definitely look at for Skyrim, for your Ranger playthrough and for your Grey Jedi playthrough. You know, it's funny. I'm actually doing a Sith playthrough for my on my own for my Xbox One. So
I like it. I even was able to do extended character creation to give my him actual like black eyes with red irises. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so it fits, you know. And I actually have a skin tone that actually makes it look corrupted and stuff, so it's great.
Love it.
I even have a tattoo mod, as you've probably seen in my Drunken Dragonborn clip.
Yes, I've seen that. That's pretty cool. What's that one about?
Yeah. Basically what it does is you go to a forge and you have a charcoal and a Daedra heart, so it's kind of expensive to make these things.
Right.
But you can actually, if you get them, if you get a hold of those things, you can actually craft tattoos in the miscellaneous category.
Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, actually. Yeah,
that does sound kind of cool. I like it.
Yes. So definitely, it would be cool because I know technically I know Revan actually, canonically, did have tattoos.
Yes.
Yeah, he got I think he had tattoos, on his character. The only reason they didn't appear in Knights of the Old Republic was because that was a later edition. It was a later edition.
Do they have that? I mean, I watched a little bit of it to kind of understand a little bit of what it's about. But it's the Revenge of Revan mod that you told me about, I think it was, or somebody told me about. Does the canonical Revan have tattoos in that one?
Well, the thing about Revenge of Revan is essentially what it does. If you have Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic 2 on your system, what it does is it actually has a little program in it that will actually take a look at how your Revan was made and how your Exile was made. And it will actually translate that information into the game.
Huh.
So
so basically it's kind of like Dragon Age, where you
in a way, yeah, exactly, or Mass Effect, yeah. It's essentially using that same principle.
That's really cool.
That was actually in the latest update, actually, for the demo. That was actually in the latest update. They've yet to release the full game. They've yet to release the full full mod, but I really want to play it for the channel.
Exactly.
I really do.
The footage I've seen of what they've done with it already looks
amazing, doesn't it? Like they've actually put time and effort into keeping true to the actual Mandalorian wars as possible. They actually have read. They've read every single piece of literature that they can find, every single bit of information about those times, about what happened during those times. It was like, it was great. It was great. I loved it. I loved every second of it. It was like they're keeping so true to it. Man!
And the thing that strikes me about the looking at the different comparisons between the Mandalorian and the Clone Wars. the Mandalorian Wars were, of course, they were both galaxy-wide conflicts, but the Mandalorian Wars were significantly longer in terms of how long they lasted,
Yes.
versus the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But in ways, there were periods of kind of stagnant stuff going on, as well as just intense fighting, and it kind of edged back and forth.
And the only thing, that was pretty much just like that was essentially the Republic and the Mandalorians licking their wounds before they went back at it.
Exactly.
So there was kind of like
constant.
which in essence is actually how real war is like, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I like the Mandalorian Wars so much.
Yeah.
So much better than the Clone Wars, because it was a much more realistic conflict. That way.
The Mandalorian Wars, I think, went on for 16 years or something like that.
It went on for 6. I think so. Yeah, essentially, because the actual war itself lasted, I think, about 6 years, 7 years. The last the remaining years were essentially just like the fallout from that. What happened to the Mandalorian clans and everything. Trying to rebuild and just all that stuff. It was like
and Revan at that point pretty much just rooting out everything, basically.
Yeah,
because the way that for basically half the war, you had the Republic on its own for much of it, and then the other half, it's like all of a sudden the Jedi are coming in with Revan at the helm, kind of deal. With
Revan and Malik and the Exile just leading the charge, and just and essentially even the Mandalorians themselves were just. If you played Knights of the Republic, you hear just how fondly Canderous talks of Revan. Even though he knows that he essentially lost to Revan, he doesn't care.
Absolutely.
He said in a way, he literally said they literally said that in a way, this was the conflict they always wanted.
Right.
This is what they always wanted. They essentially Revan basically rebuilt the power structure of the Republic Army and everything, just rewrote the rules on warfare and everything. He did things.
He rewrote the rules on so many things. The way that war was conducted, and also helping reorganize not only the Jedi Order but also the Sith Order. We say that Darth Bane is the creator of the Rule of Two, but
technically,
in the lore,
it was
also
Revan.
got that concept from Revan's holocron.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
And also Revan was, I think, one of the first Sith to use the title of Darth, as well as Malik as well.
Yes. Actually, no. Technically, that's not true. Technically, that's actually not true. The title of Darth was given to them by Vitiate. By that time, there had already been a few Darths in the Sith in the slowly rebuilding, slowly healing Sith Empire.
Now that I think about it, there were a few.
Yeah, technically there were no Darths until Vitiate pretty much took back control. Essentially, it was Vitiate who invented the role of Darth to begin with.
Yeah.
He essentially that it's the highest that any Sith can go to, can go for, and so that's one of the reasons why. And Vitiate was such an interesting character.
He really
Vitiate Valkorian.
He didn't initially strike me as, because you look at Palpatine.
Really Sith. Really Sith. The thing about he didn't want power for the sake of power. He wanted power because he wanted to rebuild the universe, and he wanted to rebuild the universe the way that he wanted to. He wanted to live every life he could possibly imagine.
And that argument actually is applied to Palpatine in a way, especially in the extended universe, because there's this concept of, yes, he's this all-powerful Sith Lord. Well, more so in a Sith acolyte who rises to be a Sith Lord.
Yes.
But there's the whole thing of did he rise to this power and build these super weapons to protect the galaxy from external threats? There's that dichotomy of, yes, he's evil, but is he taking that evil and protecting the stuff that he holds dear or whatever? I don't know.
The thing about Palpatine is that he doesn't really care. that's the thing about Palpatine. Palpatine doesn't. Palpatine and Revan became Sith Lords for very different reasons.
Yes.
Revan became a Sith Lord mainly to hold back the tide of the true Sith Empire.
Yes.
He became a necessary evil in order to hold back the true evil. Palpatine was evil because he was one of the greatest manipulators, one of the greatest like he could make anybody like him.
Right.
That's the thing. Even when he was emperor, he had people fawning for him, things like that. This old wrinkled dude that shoots lightning out of his hand had admirers all over the galaxy because he was the person that pulled the Republic back from the brink. That's what he did. Like, he played that conflict beautifully. And I actually watched a YouTube video as to why, even though the Jedi were hated, Anakin was supposed to essentially be the hero.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he manipulated the media outlets to make Anakin look like this fantastic hero, someone who truly stood for the Republic, not just for the Jedi Order. His true loyalties were the people of the Republic, and he always, and the thing was that he always put Anakin in situations where he was gonna win.
The other thing, there's actually a fan theory that I read recently that kind of touches more on that, about how the Clone Wars, the animated one of the Clone Wars, not the anime, but the animated.
Animated, yes. I know the difference between the two.
Well, not everybody does, but yes. So they were talking about how, the animated style was written very much like the propaganda kind of dealio.
Yes.
Of what was going on.
Here's the cool thing about the Clone Wars TV series. They actually had episodes where they would start with real people reading propaganda.
Yes.
Like propaganda that they wrote and everything. Like actual things, sounding like things from news outlets, sounding like stuff that you would hear from World War II and things like that.
Absolutely. And that kind of gives you a mindset of,
this is more than just this is essentially in a way it was essentially just like World War II in that way.
Yes.
The Clone Wars were essentially World War II.
Yes.
Except at the end of it, the bad guys won. So
which paints a very interesting scenario for the heroes, basically. Because what's really interesting is that when you go throughout the series,
that was a nice shot that I just saw you do on that deer. Yeah, that was a nice shot. Do you have violence? Violence is like a kill move overhaul. It essentially alters the chances alters the modes for killing, for kill moves, alters the chances, decapitations. You can actually choose things in first person or third person.
Yeah, so I have some sort of a mod that does something like that. I don't really think it's violence, but I can definitely check it out. Uh-oh. You there?
Even though normally they're so random and only appear on the last enemy, you see me doing kill moves on person after person after person. That's what I use it for.
Oh,
absolutely. It essentially makes me feel like a badass, which is what the Dragonborn should be, a badass.
Yes, absolutely. Trying to avoid this mammoth over here. You'll see it in a moment.
Yeah, it looks like your stream's loading again.
It's been a little slow.
Commander Ghost stream died. Okay. All right. Well,
I'm not even getting the stream messages at the moment. Hold on. Maybe I just need I think I need to reload my browser on my end.
Yeah. I actually gotta text Sloth real quick to see if they're on their way. Yeah.
And I gotta save this again and restart again because the white mouse is back.
Yeah, you still need to alter the your video title, by the way.
What's it say?
It's essentially Skyrim the Ranger Session 3, more mods, more fun. What you should do is featuring, with in parentheses, featuring General Lotus of Sanguine Lunar Production.
Yep. I should.
Yes, you definitely should.
I should and I will.
Yes.
Actually,
So let I actually do this. Yeah. So that way it brings people to my channel.